Continuing from the previous episode 460. After so many years, someone with Medusa's blood has finally arrived. The mysterious man turned around slowly, then stared at Kaylin, as if he was quite happy, and there was a lot of vicissitudes in his voice. It seems to have stayed here and waited for countless years. The next moment, the mysterious woman suddenly disappeared into this space. Who is it? Kaylin became vigilant, and the power of 9-color light that was extremely dazzling appeared in an instant, and then her beautiful eyes kept turning. Just when the mysterious man disappeared, Kaylin was shocked. Even with Kaylin's strength, this space cannot be broken open. According to Kaylin's guess, if you want to break through this space, I am afraid that the minimum strength is to reach the level of the 9-star Do Emperor. I'm here. Just when Kaylin was puzzled, a silver bell-like voice sounded. When Kaylin heard this, she raised her delicate forehead and cast her gaze. What caught the eyes of Kaylin was a mysterious woman. The mysterious woman had hair like a snake and scorpion. The hair was colorful, and the shape was like a snake and scorpion, which was extremely terrifying. The hair is divided into 10 strands in total, and there are different colors on top of the 10 strands, and the most bizarre thing is the woman's pupils. The woman looked quite young, and there was a rare gratification on her pretty face. In addition, her skin was quite ruddy, as if she was not a dying person at all, but there was no strength or color in her pupils. It's just a piece of dead ashes. It makes people feel a fear of death. How? It's weird, isn't it? The mysterious man slowly stepped forward, then stopped 5 meters away from Kaylin and smiled at him. This smile, charming all beings, made Kaylin feel a deep fear. Senior? Kaylin suppressed the shock in her body and said, "Although I don't know the strength of the powerhouse in front of me, I don't need to think about it. The terrifying 10-color power on this hairline alone may have explained a lot of things. Come here." The snake-scorpion woman slowly raised her jade hand, and an invisible force of space instantly brought Kaylin to her side. As they got closer, Kaylin realized just how gorgeous the figure in front of her was. It's just that beneath that brilliance, there is endless killing intent. You shouldn't be from this continent, right? The snake-scorpion woman stared at Kaylin for a while, her lips moving slightly. Kaylin said slightly, but the suppressing power on the scorpion woman was too terrifying, and the fighting spirit in Kaylin's body trembled slightly. Senior. Kaylin just opened her mouth, but she hesitated, as if she was afraid of something. Coming from a lower plane called the Do-Chi continent, the Do-Chi continent also has a lineage of Medusa. With the help of the power of different fires, he was promoted to the colorful swallowing python, and by chance, he used the help of the Juyudi Nether Python clan. The power of the fallen ancient serpent is promoted to the 9-colored swallowing python. Not bad, not bad. The snake-scorpion woman smiled sweetly, and seemed extremely satisfied with Kaylin. When Kaylin heard the words, she forcibly suppressed the shock in her heart, and then her beautiful eyes exuded 9 colors, and she stared at the mysterious woman. At this moment, Kaylin seems to have the feeling that she is being seen through by the woman in front of her. Xinya 81 Zhang Wian Wang Yu. Kai 8.1 ZS. Koem, don't move. Let me take a good look. 10 different colors appeared on the mysterious woman's hair, and then the next moment, it suddenly wrapped around Kaylin, and then Kaylin was shocked by the power of 10 colors on the woman's body. The restrained movement is unbearable. Kaylin was slowly stagnant on the ground, and then the mysterious woman's jade hand moved slightly, and a slow force appeared, and then wrapped around Kaylin like a water snake. Get down! Kaylin snorted suddenly, and a huge 9-color energy burst out instantly, smashing viciously at the force wielded by the mysterious woman. As expected of someone who carries our royal bloodline of the Medusa family, he is actually so proud. The mysterious woman smashed Kaylin's terrifying 9-color energy, and without hesitation, turned into a tiny snake body, swimming continuously on Kaylin. The mysterious woman turned into a small snake with a weak body. The snake's body was quite smooth, and a monstrous killing intent emerged from the snake's eyes, and then slowly and continuously swimming on Kaylin's body. At this time, Kaylin was extremely shocked. The power of his own blood is already the power of the blood of the 9-colored sky-swallowing python. This little snake's shadow alone can make Kaylin feel fearful. So it is very likely that it is the legendary 10-colored sky-swallowing python. The 10-colored swallowing python can swallow the sun, moon and stars with its mouth open, and kill the gods of heaven and earth with its eyes open. This is the rumor about the 10-colored sky-swallowing python in the Great Thousand World. And it is said that every snake man who has achieved the 10-colored sky-swallowing python, without exception, is a fighting god. Fighting god. That is the pinnacle of all planes, enough to be called the superpower of the Great Thousand World. Damn it. Although Kaylin didn't know what was going on, when the mysterious woman incarnated as a snake shadow wrapped around her body, she suddenly found that the huge energy in her body was dissipating at a fast speed. At this speed, I am afraid that within a minute, the vindictive energy in Kaylin's body will be exhausted. That kind of feeling. It's astonishingly that my own power was absorbed by this mysterious woman. This is the temple of the Medusa clan. If you don't have vindictiveness, you will be terrified in this dangerous temple. Hee, I really can't imagine that you have not only the bloodline power of the 9-colored sky-swallowing python, but also the power of some ancient serpents. Snake Ying opened the graceful snake mouth, and said in a silver bell-like voice. Humph, Senior, doing this is a loss of the style of a strong man. Kai Lin still struggled without giving link to upwww.novelmtl.com if it is really absorbed by the legendary powerhouse of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python, the power in her own body. Maybe this strong man will be reborn with the help of her own body. When he thought that there was a quirky daughter on the Do-Chi continent, and that daughter's father on the Do-Di continent, Kai Lin's pupils slowly became stained with some sadness. The next moment, a sad mood suddenly spread throughout the entire space. With the appearance of this sad mood, a mutation appeared on Kaylin's body. At this moment, the heaven and earth in this space changed color. Then an extremely bright 9-color power emerged from Kaylin's body. On the top, a giant snake of 100 Zhang energy with 9-color brilliance suddenly appeared. The energy giant snake appeared in 9 colors of light, and a strong aura permeated the space. Seeing this, the tiny snake shadow on the side whispered something in an incredible low voice, and then she transformed into the original woman. Has it finally appeared? The 9-colored sky-swallowing python itself. After the mysterious woman finished speaking, she slowly laughed. Kaylin, after breaking free from the mysterious woman's shackles, jumped directly into the giant snake head of the 9-colored swallowing python. After the mysterious woman standing on the ground gave off a strange smile, a wave of death was born in Kaylin's heart. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 461. Damn it. How holy is this woman? Why do I feel a feeling of trembling in my soul from her? This is something that has never happened before. If she is really the ancestor of the Medusa family that the blue and white snake said, the 10-color swallowing python, then why is it difficult? Some thoughts kept floating in Kaylin's mind. After a few breaths, Kaylin simply gave up thinking. The one standing at his feet is the 9-colored sky-swallowing python. When some of the geniuses of the snake people cultivate, they will give birth to a companion spirit snake in their bodies. This spirit snake will grow with the strength of the snake people, just like when Kaylin used the power of strange fire to break through the colorful swallow. At the time of the sky python, the accompanying colorful swallowing python was normal. It's just that this spirit snake is as important as a human heart. Once the snake man encounters fatal danger, it will be summoned. Otherwise, in normal times, this spirit snake is easily shown to people. I am afraid that if someone accidentally kills it, the snake person will also suffer irreparable injuries, and even worse, it will directly fall. After all, the spirit snake is known as the heart of the snake people. And at the foot of Kaylin at this time, it was the 7-colored sky-swallowing python. But at this time, the 7-colored sky-swallowing python had already evolved into the 9-colored sky-swallowing python along with the evolution of the color scale, and there were many things happening on it. Change. 9 colored rays of light continued to emerge from his body, and a ferocious aura emanated from his body. The most obvious change is that this 9-colored swallowing python has already possessed its own intelligence. The most serious thing is that the strength of this 9-colored sky-swallowing python will advance and retreat together with the color scale. Once the color scales are promoted, then the strength of the 9-colored swallowing python will also be promoted naturally. And Kaylin couldn't explain this wonderful relationship. For this relationship, Kaylin could only vaguely feel that it seemed to be related to the bloodline of the 9-colored sky-swallowing python in his body. Senior, I came here this time just to find the strongest among the Medusa clan. If I can obtain the power of inheritance, I will help the Medusa clan find a more suitable place for them to live. As for the other one, it is rumored that there is a 10-colored sky-swallowing python among the Medusa clan, and I would also like to see it. However, Senior doesn't care about my feelings at all, and it's too unconventional to take action as soon as we meet. Kalen stood on the forehead of Jusai's swallowing python, and then angrily said, "Queen Medusa." The momentum is undoubtedly on display. The 9-colored swallowing python under its feet, the snake tail of hundreds of meters swam constantly, and then the pupils stared at the mysterious woman on the ground. This woman really has such terrifying strength. Ju Kai Tien Tien Python kept thinking in his mind. In front of this mysterious woman, the suppression of the 9-colored sky-swallowing python was even more serious than that of Kalen. Xinya 81 Zhang Huiyan Wang Yu, Kai 8. Approximately 1 ZS, Co M. Hey, is that what the outside world says? 10-colored swallowing pythons, you can swallow the sun, moon and stars with your mouth open, and the gods of heaven and earth can be destroyed by opening your eyes. The mysterious woman murmured, and then calmed down a little, without any emotional fluctuations due to the rumors from the outside world. Just as Kalen and Jusai swallowing python looked at each other, just as they were about to make a move, the mysterious woman in front of her suddenly moved. The next moment, the woman's face turned serious, and an extremely cold energy slowly floated out of her body, followed by a very special gray energy. You must know that the 9-colored sky-swallowing python is quite fond of the power of yin and cold. If you fight in such an environment, I am afraid that the increase in the 9-colored sky-swallowing python will undoubtedly be the greatest. No, Kylin, hurry up. At the beginning, the 9-colored sky-swallowing python didn't know what happened, but the next moment, the mysterious woman standing on the ground became serious, accompanied by the extremely thick white color on her body. The cold air spread out, and there was a dead gray color in the pupil. The dead gray energy slowly filled the pupils of the mysterious woman, and then a terrifying energy that annihilated all things slowly appeared. At the same time, the extremely cold white mist energy around was radiating from the woman. Run separately. Kalen suddenly thought of something subconsciously, and then suddenly faced Xiao Judao. The 9-color swallowing python has not appeared since the color scale evolved, but the 9-color swallowing python and the color scale both come from the same place, both in terms of blood and strength, so the two have the same mind. A dignified look appeared in the monstrous 9-colored snake pupil of the Kai swallowing python, and then without hesitation, he swayed his huge body and suddenly escaped from the mysterious woman's side. The 9-colored sky swallowing python, it is said that in ancient times, if you cultivated to the peak, it would be comparable to a powerhouse at the peak of Do Xian. It's a pity that although you are the royal family of my Medusa clan, you have also evolved to have the bloodline of the 9-colored sky-swallowing python. But you don't know the method of cultivation. This 9-colored swallowing python is like a toy in your hand. If the ancestor of this 9-colored swallowing python knows, I am afraid that he will faint directly. The mysterious woman said slowly and solemnly. Quickly withdraw. Jusai Tianshan Python seemed to realize something, and suddenly roared at the direction where Kalen was located. This sound, the momentum is like a rainbow. The deafening snake roar lingers in the mysterious space for a long time. It's too late. The mysterious woman opened her mouth slightly, and the next moment, those gray pupils shrank suddenly, and her eyes stared directly at Kalen. Being stared at by this mysterious woman's gray pupils, Kalen felt that the power of her soul in the depths of her body was trembling, and she seemed to be directly locked by this mysterious woman. What is this? What? Kylin said stiffly. With the lock of the mysterious woman's gray pupils, Kylin could feel that not only her soul power was locked and unable to twitch, but even the strength of the battle chi and blood in her body was locked. The force is solidified in general. Medusa, Petrified Eye. Just when Kalen was puzzled, a shocking voice suddenly burst out from the lips of the mysterious woman. The shocking voice is extremely harsh in this mysterious space. With the sound of this coercive voice, all the spaces in the mysterious space instantly solidified. Then two gray energies full of death fluctuations suddenly burst out from the pupils of the mysterious woman. As for the gathering point of that gray energy, reading www. Link to yukanshu.com is where the color scales are. How can it be? It's actually the petrified pupil of Medusa. Seeing this, the nine-colored sky-swallowing python said quickly. A fear filled his heart. It's just that as soon as the voice fell, the terrifying rays that burst out from the gray pupils of the mysterious woman came to Kaylin in an instant. Damn, I can't move. Kaylin forcibly suppressed the strangeness in her body, and then her breath skyrocketed. Even so, Kaylin actually found that the power in her body, whether it was soul power or fighting spirit, couldn't be mobilized at all. Are you going to die? Kaylin was very calm at this time, but in her mind, a rather young figure appeared. Xiao, I'm sorry, Kaylin said slightly, and then the Queen Medusa, who was on the mainland of Btth2, actually shed a drop of her eyes. Kaylin, don't give up. The nine-colored swallowing python's breath was soaring, and then a beam of nine-color terrifying energy attacked the place where the mysterious woman was. After doing all this, Jukai swallowing the sky snorted, and then without hesitation, a huge figure swayed in an instant. Above the hundreds of feet of snake body, Jukai's light was extremely bright, and the next moment, he directly used his huge body. His body slammed into the gray death ray viciously. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 462. Damn, I didn't expect it to be the petrified pupil of Medusa. How could this petrified pupil of Medusa appear in a higher plane? This is a supreme skill that is enough to threaten Do Xian or even Do Shen's powerhouse. Jukai Tiantian Python said in disbelief. Obviously, the nine-colored sky-swallowing python knows a lot about Medusa's petrified pupil. The nine-colored swallowing python swings its huge snake body. At first, relying on its rapid speed, it was prepared to use its body to resist the force of death, but with the movement of the nine-colored swallowing python, the mysterious woman waved it casually. In an instant, the offensive issued by the nine-colored swallowing python will be resolved, and then snorted coldly. An invisible wave instantly shook the nine-colored swallowing python back a distance of several hundred meters. Damn bastard! Seeing this, the nine-colored sky-swallowing python was very anxious, and a madness emerged from the snake's pupil full of nine-color power. The seven-colored swallowing python is extremely proud by nature. Even if it was evolved into the nine-colored swallowing python by this color scale in the original Nine Netherland Nether Python clan, he was quite dissatisfied with the color scale, but fortunately, Xiao Yan was not satisfied with the color. Its meticulous care of the swallowing python made the feeling of the nine-colored swallowing python slowly change towards the color scales. Jusai Tiantian Python is a female by nature, and in addition to the indifference of Queen Medusa Kaylin, the two of them rarely talked on the Btth2 continent. Kaylin also did not tell Xiao Yan in order to save unnecessary trouble. It's just that Kaylin was seeing everything the nine-colored sky-swallowing python did at this time, and the pupils that had just regained some luster were getting wet. Color scales. The power of nine colors. At the critical moment, a terrifying nine-color energy like a seed was instantly peeled off from the body of the nine-color swallowing python. Then, with the appearance of this nine-colored light energy group, the breath of the nine-colored swallowing python suddenly wilted. The huge snake mouth of the nine-colored sky-swallowing python swung suddenly, and the terrifying light ball containing the power of nine-color light flew directly towards the place where the color scales were. When the nine-colored light ball passed, the solidified space suddenly collapsed with an explosion. It's just that with the existence of a mysterious woman, this space has not disappeared. Seeing this, Kaylin was quite moved, and she didn't give up immediately. Although she couldn't mobilize her soul power or any trace of grudge, she moved with difficulty. Susu, it's actually the power of nine colors. This is your greatest proof as a nine-colored swallowing python. Without this power, the blood of the nine-colored swallowing python alone is not enough to be called nine colors. Swallow the python, the mysterious woman said slowly. To shut up. If we are allowed to leave alive, then he will leave you with no bones left in the future. Jukai Tian Python just finished speaking. It turned into a graceful woman, clutching her chest, and then said with some resentment. The woman transformed by the nine-colored swallowing python has short hair and looks quite delicate. The handsome face is combined with that extremely arrogant face, giving people a feeling of invincibility. The nine-colored sky-swallowing python is different from Kaylin. Kaylin has a serious face, like a snowflake that has never bloomed in 10,000 years, while the woman transformed by the nine-colored sky-swallowing python has a rather friendly power all over her body. The power is also mixed with an unusually violent arrogance. Just stay with me. After the mysterious woman sent out the petrified pupil of Medusa, she instantly resumed her action, and then with a wave of her jade hand, a force full of 10 colors of light instantly imprisoned the nine-colored swallowing python woman. Stand up. Seeing this, Jusai Tiantian Python simply gave up the struggle and sat down cross-legged, taking care of his injury. Cough, cough. It was strange to say that the gray energy full of death power came towards Kaylin. At first, it carried a monstrous aura, and even the space directly solidified. Kai Lin can feel that if he is hit by this power, even a strong fighting immortal will only have his share of fall. However, as the nine-colored sky-swallowing python intercepted it, it seemed that the speed of the gray ray became extremely slow. A hallucination? Kai Lin asked in surprise. After that, Kaylin didn't dare to neglect, and directly took over the nine-color power projected by the nine-colored sky-swallowing python. With the influx of this nine-colored power, Kaylin felt a huge force filling his body. Such terrifying power should be comparable to that of a 5-star Do D perfect level Do Emperor powerhouse. You must know that the soul power and vindictiveness in Kaylin's body are unavailable at this time. The power of this nine-colored swallowing python alone can make Kaylin's aura soar to such a degree. If the two join forces, I am afraid that among the same level invincible. Humph! The strength was restored, and Kaylin also brought a monstrous aura, and then the nine-colored rays of light all over his body suddenly met the gray power of death. Shabu shabu! The gray energy didn't dodge or evade, and it went straight ahead with the 9 colors of color scales. It's just that no matter how huge the force Kaylin unleashes to block it, it won't help. It seems that the gray power of death is not affected by the color scale at all, and it comes directly to the color scale. It's almost there, the mysterious woman said to herself when she saw this. Seeing the mysterious woman's words, the nine-colored swallowing python on the side seemed to be thinking, could she be testing Kaylin? After the nine-color swallowing python finished speaking, his eyes suddenly turned to the color scales. At this time, I saw the bright 9-color light on Kaylin's body emerging, and no matter how powerful the attack was, it would not help the gray energy. The next moment, that gray energy suddenly hit Kaylin. Xinya 81 Zhang Huiyan Wang U. Kai 8.1 ZS. Koem, Shabu. The 9-colored swallowing python woman's pupils shrank tightly. If the result is not as she expected, I'm afraid that the two of them will fall here today. Boom boom boom. The gray energy suddenly hit Kaylin. Kaylin was lost for a moment, and the next moment he was already floating in the air, and then the gray energy full of the power of death continuously merged into Kaylin's limbs and bones. Sure enough, seeing this, the 9-colored swallowing link to Python www.novelmtl.com was overjoyed. In a few breaths, the huge gray energy was absorbed by the color scales, and then the color scales instantly returned to their original appearance, and the power of the 9 colors on the body returned to the body of the 9-color swallowing python. Little guy, this is the last great fortune I gave you. Whether you can appreciate the treasure of the Medusa family depends on your fortune. The mysterious woman looked at Kaylin and muttered, "Open your mouth." "Thank you, Senior," Kaylin said hurriedly. She knew that if the mysterious woman just now really wanted to kill her, maybe one finger would be enough. And the color scales are clear. The petrified pupil of Medusa just now, on the bright side, was a gray force full of death, but it was actually an extremely huge message. Those gray powers of death merged into Kaylin's body, not only repairing and strengthening Kaylin's body, but even a huge amount of information emerged in Kaylin's mind. Those huge information is quite complicated, but one thing is certain, the gray energy just now is the key to cultivating the petrified pupil of Medusa. Okay, I have already passed on the cultivation method of Medusa's petrified eye to you. As for cultivation, don't worry about it. After all, the flow of space and time here is extremely slow, and it takes 10 days for one day outside. But your companion 9-colored sky-swallowing python is quite incompetent. After the mysterious woman finished speaking, she smiled strangely at the woman the 9-colored sky-swallowing python transformed into. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 463. Seeing this, the nine-colored swallowing python woman suddenly felt that something was wrong. "Don't be afraid, I won't eat you again. After so many years, I finally waited for the descendants of my Medusa family, and they still have the blood of the royal family. How could I easily let them go? I have a hunch that this little guy's achievements in the future will definitely not be lower than mine, so you should follow her with peace of mind." This is what the mysterious woman said to the nine-colored swallowing python. After the mysterious woman finished speaking, she waved her hand, and an extremely bright 10-color power suddenly appeared in her hand. Nine-colored swallowing python, you were actually born because of the evolution of color scales. Speaking of which, you have to thank Kaylin for the appearance of the nine-colored swallowing python. If it weren't for her, I'm afraid you wouldn't have been born in this world. The mysterious woman said slightly. Following the mysterious woman's words, the arrogant look in the eyes of the nine-colored sky swallowing python also became slightly silent, because she knew that she was born because of the color scales. Slowly looking at Kaylin, she had 5 grains in her heart. "Kaylin, although you have the blood of the nine-colored sky swallowing python, it evolved after all, so your nine-colored sky swallowing python is not complete in terms of blood power or power. Defeat me, and you will get my nine-colored sky swallowing python's purest blood power and cultivation method. As for the rumored 10-colored sky swallowing python, I'll tell you if you beat me." A cold snort spread in this mysterious space, the space shook suddenly, and then a destructive wave of terror slowly emerged from the 10-colored swallowing python. The body of the python woman exudes. At this moment, Kaylin realized that the terrifying aura of the woman in front of her actually had the strength of fighting immortals. Fighting immortals strong. Kaylin looked at the terrifying woman in front of her with difficulty, and a sense of fear arose spontaneously. "I'm coming too," the nine-colored sky swallowing python on the side said suddenly. When Kaylin heard this, she turned her head away. A feeling of relief spread throughout her body. Xinya 81 Zhang Wian Wang U. Kai 8.1 ZS. Koem. At this moment, Kaylin knew clearly that there was no estrangement between him and this nine-colored sky swallowing python. Kaylin is not a hesitant either, although she doesn't know why the 10-colored sky devouring python in front of her would let them both attack her, but from the petrified pupil of Medusa that was enough to kill Kaylin just now, Kaylin Lien found out. The woman transformed by the 10-colored swallowing python in front of her didn't seem to mean to hurt them. Moreover, Kaylin and the nine-colored sky swallowing python beside them both knew that if they were to defeat the 10-colored sky swallowing python with the Do Xian level, it would be more difficult than ascending to the sky. However, Kaylin believed that since this mysterious woman did this, she must have her reasons, so she nodded slightly to the nine-colored swallowing python beside her without hesitation. "Do it!" The nine-colored swallowing python turned into a human figure, and a very strange nine-color power emerged in those beautiful eyes. Then his eyes sank, and he snorted coldly, and the monstrous terrifying aura spread out instantly. The next moment, the nine-colored sky-swallowing python directly transformed into that huge ancient alien beast, the nine-colored sky-swallowing python. The nine-colored giant snake is suspended above the void, with nine-colored snake scales all over its body. The nine-colored snake scales are extremely terrifying. The tyrannical level alone may be enough to withstand a blow from a 6-star Do Emperor powerhouse. The dignified power of 9 colors in the snake pupil slowly emerged. As the 9-colored sky-swallowing python turned into a prototype and its size increased, a huge force instantly overflowed from its body, and ripples like water droplets continued to spread in this mysterious space. The 9-colored sky-swallowing python is entrenched in the void, while Kaylin is the mysterious woman who is standing in front of her with a serious face. The mysterious woman didn't seem to take any action on the actions of these two people, standing there calmly, like a statue that is immobile. In the mouth of the 9-colored swallowing python, sharp fangs slowly appeared, and then above the fangs, a cold light appeared. With the appearance of the cold light above the fangs, the surrounding temperature dropped sharply, and the 9-color swallowing python snorted coldly, bursting out with extremely terrifying speed, twisting its huge body, opening its *** mouth to attack the mysterious woman and go. Kaylin and Jusai swallowing python were in the same mind, and immediately understood the intention of the Jusai swallowing python. The 9-color fighting spirit of the 5-star Do D perfect level emerged from all over, and then suddenly stepped on the back of the juice-swallowing python. One person and one beast are mixed with terrifying speed, and with monstrous destructive power, they are approaching the mysterious woman. "Oh, I'm disappointed that you cooperate like this." The mysterious woman sighed slightly, and then the 10-color viper-like hair behind her suddenly grew. In the span of a breath, the 10 strands of snake and scorpion hair that exuded a strange aura actually grew 100 feet tall. 10 strands of hair grew, and then broke away from their original skin color, and all turned into 10 strands of light beams with extremely strong restraint power. Orange, gold, red, black, yellow, blue, cyan, purple, green, white. 10 terrifying energy beams. Among the 10 beams of light, the white beam of light at the bottom slowly stepped forward, and then went directly to the attack of the 9-colored sky-swallowing python and Kaylin. The white beam of light just touched the offensive of the two, and the two's offensive was instantly disintegrated, and then a wave of death that contained the destruction of the sky and the earth emerged from the white beam of light. Damn! Kaylin raised her arrogant head, slightly against the other 9 beams of light of different colors beside the mysterious woman. I don't know why, Kaylin can feel it. It seems that the 10 energy beams that reach the sky, each one contains different powers. And the white beam of light that attacked him contained the power of poison. Furthermore, this white beam of light seems to be the weakest among the 10 beams of light. The speed of the 9-colored swallowing python is extremely fast. If he just found out that the white beam of light is invincible, he will not be able to leave if he wants to leave. He immediately changes his strategy decisively. Behind the Jusai Tiantian python, the monstrous snake tail that was hundreds of feet in the sky suddenly swung, and then smashed it towards the white beam of light. Boom, boom, boom! The giant snake tail glowing with the power of 9-color light came into contact with the white beam of light. An extremely terrifying wave suddenly erupted, and in the center of the duel, a destructive and strange mist ripples suddenly spread out. Cough, cough. The next moment, the white light dimmed instantly, and then returned to the mysterious woman in an instant. It's just that the situation of the 9-colored sky-swallowing python at this time was extremely unsatisfactory. The huge snake's tail, which was wrapped and protected by 9-colored snake scales, was eroded by the poisonous gas of white light, revealing the flesh and blood inside. The 9-colored snake scales were actually melted by the mysterious power of the white beam of venom. "Are you all right?" Kaylin hurriedly came to the side of the 9-colored sky-swallowing link to Python www.novelmtl.com. An extremely gentle 9-colored power was continuously injected into the 9-colored sky-swallowing python's body. With the injection of this homologous power, the complexion of the 9-colored sky-swallowing python recovered a little. Go! Just when Kaylin and Jusai-swallowing python were at a loss, a strange energy containing 10 colors burst out from the pupils of the mysterious woman, directly facing the place where the two women were. Be careful. Kaylin suddenly became vigilant, and just wanted to escape with the 9-colored sky-swallowing python, but was instantly enveloped by the 10-color power. What is this? Seeing this, Ju Kai Tian python felt an indescribable comfort. And under the shroud of the power of 10 colors, his severely injured snake tail actually recovered at a speed visible to the naked eye. And the progress of the 9-colored snake at the tail of his snake emerged, and even a faint 10th color appeared. The 9-colored swallowing python was overjoyed. With the mysterious woman's 10-color power enveloped, the aura of the second woman returned to its peak. Come again. Where did the mysterious woman stand directly? And then a coercive voice suddenly came out. Following the mysterious woman's voice, among the 10 beams of light on her figure, the white beam of beams disappeared, and the next moment, the green beam of beams ranked 9th slowly stepped forward. Ask for tickets. End of this chapter. Continuing from the previous episode 464. Let's go! Facing the 9th beam of energy coming from Zaidu, what the two women faced this time was a huge power of thunder. Around the green beam of light, terrifying thunders with a size of hundreds of meters flashed continuously, and then came towards the two girls. At the place of the huge thunder, the surrounding space trembled slightly, and the power of the terrifying thunder was slow, as if the power of the 9 colors on the two of them seemed quite insignificant. Boom, boom, boom! The two girls tried their best to resist the 9th beam of light just now. But the injuries on the two girls are even more serious than those caused by the 10th beam of light. However, after the 9th thunder power was broken, the second color of the 9-color power suddenly became bright in Kalen's body and the 9-colored swallowing python's body. A huge force slowly spread throughout the body. The next moment, the 9th beam of light slowly returned to the mysterious woman, then dimmed, and then disappeared in front of everyone. With the disappearance of these two energy beams, both the colored scales and the 9-colored swallowing python can feel it, and the 2-colored power in the 9-colored power in his body seems to become more solid and bright. If these 10 terrifying beams of light are completely defeated, then the strength of the two of them will definitely increase by leaps and bounds. It's just that the second girl's attention was attracted by the remaining 8 huge beams of light, and she didn't notice that the disappearing 2 beams of light returned to the mysterious girl's hair. With the return of these 2 beams of light, the strength of the woman fighting immortals actually increased faintly, but the 2 girls didn't pay attention. "Come again," the mysterious woman shouted loudly, and then a force containing the power of 10 colors came towards the 2 girls. The second daughter received the baptism of the power of 10 colors, and her strength and body are recovering to their peak. "Come again, but be careful. The further back you go, the more terrifying this power is." A trace of seriousness appeared in the pupils of the 2 girls, and then they attacked the 7th beam of light. Xinya 81 Zhang Weian Wang Yu, Kai 8.1 ZS, Koam. As they attacked the 6th energy beam, the difference in strength between the 2 women was clearly manifested. Just when the 2 women were puzzled, the power contained in the 6th terrifying beam of light was constantly worn away by the 2 women and did not recover at all. Then the 2 women suddenly realized something, and looked at the mysterious woman with grateful eyes. This light just defeated the 4 beams of light, and the power of 4 colors has been born in the bodies of the 2 women. With her huge perception, the 2 girls can find that the power of 4 colors is even more terrifying than the power of 9 colors that she has cultivated before. One day, January, 1 year, in this mysterious space, the 2 women had no idea how long they stayed. Keep failing, constantly recovering strength, fighting against that monstrous beam of light. Boom boom boom. Inside the mysterious space, Kalen and Jusai Tiantian Python kept attacking the sky-penetrating beam of light. One thing changed and the other grew, and the 10 extremely terrifying beams of light finally disappeared under the attack of the second daughter for an unknown period of time. Boom boom boom. As the last beam of light was defeated by the 2 girls, a rare smile appeared on the pretty face of the mysterious woman. The next moment, the 10 strands of snake-like hair behind him suddenly brightened. The power of 10 colors suddenly appeared. "There's only so much I can do." The mysterious woman spoke slowly, and an indescribable ancient aura suddenly filled the space. Senior. Even Kalen, who has always been cold, was forced out of the 9-colored sky-swallowing python by this mysterious woman before entering this mysterious space, and then was attacked by her petrified eyes of Medusa. In fact, it is an attack, and secretly it is a great blessing for Kalen. Then, with the help of the 10 huge beams of 10-colored power, he pointed at the colored scales in the 9-colored swallowing python. During those long years, every time a beam of light that penetrates the sky is broken, the 2 girls can feel a sublimation from the depths of their souls. And after defeating a full 10 beams of light, the aura of the 2 girls has undergone earth-shaking changes. Originally, 1 person and 1 beast were all at the perfect level of a 5-star fighting emperor. After defeating 10 beams of light, the huge sea of fighting chi in the 2 women's bodies violently solidified, and then kept shrinking. The 10 beams of light that reach the sky are not so much to point the 2 of them, but to squeeze the 2 of them together. Because the sea of fighting chi in the 2 people's bodies originally had a size of hundreds of feet, after being baptized by the terrifying energy of 10 beams of light, it suddenly and violently squirmed. Then the huge sea of fighting chi that was several hundred meters in size instantly shrank to several dozen meters in size. 10 feet in size. This is comparable to some 8-star or 9-star duty-level powerhouses. Although this sea of fighting chi has shrunk, the 2 women are deeply aware that this cultivation journey is really focused on strengthening the body and expanding the volume of fighting chi in the beginning. However, the strong Do Emperor did the opposite. Only the huge sea of fighting chi in the body was compressed into a fist-sized fighting core. Then it is the prerequisite for advancing to Do Xian. Have you found it? The mysterious woman smiled slightly, didn't bother the 2 girls, and let them both understand. Thank you, Senior. At the next moment of Kaylin, the snake pupil with the power of 9 colors cast a grateful gaze, and then bowed slightly to the mysterious woman. The power of the 9 colors, compared to the color scale entering the Medusa temple, I don't know how many times stronger. Seeing this, the 9-colored sky-swallowing python on the side also lowered her head and bowed. Even with the arrogance of her companion 9-colored sky-swallowing python, she couldn't help but respect the person in front of her. If you want to thank you, it's still too early. After the mysterious woman finished speaking, her appearance suddenly changed, and then a giant snake with 10-colored power appeared behind her. The giant snake exudes the power of 10 colors all over its body, and the 10-color snake scales cover it slightly, and a terrifying aura like an overlord exudes from its link to body www.novelmtl.com. It's just that the 9-colored swallowing python is clear and light. It is these 10-colored snake scales. I am afraid that with all their strength, the two women have no way to break through the defense. Tenshi, take your things out, we should go too. The mysterious woman said slightly. After the mysterious woman finished speaking, the 1,000-foot 12-colored swallowing python replied in a low voice, "This is our last choice. I hope we didn't make a mistake." When the words fell, the giant snake of 1,000 meters slowly squirmed, and then an extremely dazzling light spot instantly emerged from the snake's belly, and then came out of the snake's mouth at a speed visible to the naked eye. The spiritual snake pupils of the 10-colored swallowing python flickered slightly, and then a monarch's breath came out. Such an aura, even the 9-colored sky-swallowing python has never possessed it. The next moment, an extremely miniature energy snake appeared in the mouth of the 10-colored swallowing python. With the appearance of this small energy snake, the 9-colored swallowing python's pupils shrank tightly and stared at the snake. The energy snake here. A terrifying chill suddenly radiated from the heart of the 9-colored sky-swallowing python. Plop! With a sound, Jukai Tien python knelt down instantly. He just murmured in his mouth, "Is this the real 10-colored sky-swallowing python?" I saw the little energy snake slowly swallowing the triangular snake letter, and in the snake pupil, a strong aura that made heaven and earth surrender suddenly filled this space. Ask for tickets. So many people don't vote after reading the book. End of this chapter.